Marie Osmond finally speaks the truth about Andy Gibb at 66. Marie Osmond's real name is Olive Marie Osmond on the 10th of October, Ogden, Utah, on the 13th of 1959. She was the seventh of 9 kids in the well-known Osmond family, but she immediately made a mark that was all her own. Marie had a great voice, a natural charm, and an irresistible stage presence that set her on a shining personal path. Her brothers became famous around the world as a harmonious pop group. In the 1960s and 1970 seconds, Marie had a unique mix of innocence and professionalism from the start. At the age of 13, she became famous with a solo recording career that went against what the music business thought would happen. Her first big hit, Paper Roses, quickly became a classic, climbing the charts and making her one of the youngest female performers ever to have such success. The song's emotional depth, together with Marie's angelic but strong voice, won over fans all over the world and started a career based on honesty and poignant stories. Over the years that followed, she kept putting out records that showed off her diversity, from classic country to modern pop to Broadway-inspired performances. This artistic growth only made her admirers feel closer to her. Of course, Marie's famous climb wouldn't be complete without mentioning her remarkable cooperation with her brother Donnie. Donnie and Marie became one of the most successful and culturally important variety shows of the 1970s. The twins brought laughter, music, comedic sketches, and good entertainment into millions of American homes every week. Their connection was explosive, their humor was wonderful, and they got along naturally. One of the most lovable things about TV history. Not everyone watched Donnie and Marie. They thought of the two as family. Marie was a star because of her quick wit, expressive personality, and stunning outfits. She had the charm and comic timing to thrive in any medium. Marie did well as an adult, and her success went far beyond her early popularity in music and TV. She welcomed new challenges and shone on stage, starring in Broadway shows like The King and I and The Sound of Music, where her performances were praised for their emotional depth and vocal skill. She also showed that she was very good at business by being a pioneer in product design and marketing with her popular Marie Osmond dolls. These dolls were a huge hit and showed off her ingenuity and entrepreneurial zeal. Marie showed time and time again that one of her best skills was being able to change. She hosted TV shows, radio shows, and high-profile reality competitions like Dancing with the Stars. Marie Osmond showed again in 2004 that one of her best skills is being able to change her life when she started her own nationally syndicated radio show, Marie and Friends. The show wasn't just another celebrity initiative to show off. It turned into a cozy, welcoming place where Marie's unique sense of humor, empathy, and quick wit sparked real interactions with fans, experts, and artists from all over the country. People remembered why she had been a household name for so long because she was so good at connecting with them. In 2007, just a few years later, she astonished and pleased audiences again when she joined the hit show Dancing with the Stars. This time, she showed a different side of herself as she faced the physical and mental challenges of competitive ballroom dancing. Her performances, which were full of dedication, vulnerability, and startling athleticism, won over fans and introduced her to a whole new generation. Then there was one of the most famous reunions in the history of Las Vegas entertainment. Marie and her brother Donnie brought back the charm of their famous combo in 2008 with a high-energy, family-friendly residency at the Flamingo Hotel. What was supposed to be a 6-week engagement turned into an amazing 11-year run that lasted until 2019. Every night, the arena was full of people who wanted to see old favorites, hear new songs, and see the natural chemistry that only siblings who have been through a lot together can show. Their stage routine was so popular that they released a duets album in 2009 called Donnie and Marie. It captured the spirit of their live shows and reminded listeners why their musical friendship had lasted for so long. Marie's creative enthusiasm kept going. She put out her solo studio album, I Can Do This, in 2010. It was full with themes of faith, tenacity, and personal power, qualities that she had shown during her career. In 2016, 6 years later, she made a triumphant return to her country roots with the poignant album Music is Medicine, which she made with a variety of performers and honored the healing power of music. In 2021, she bravely broadened her musical repertoire once more with the classical crossover album Unexpected. This album was a remarkable display of her voice that showed how deep and mature it had become, and it surprised audiences with its beauty and emotional strength. Marie also joined the panel of midday hosts on the show from 2019 to 2020, where she provided candor, comedy, and deep personal stories to national television every weekday. Her career as an actress also kept getting better. She was in a number of Lifetime original movies, such as the pleasant holiday movie The Christmas Edition in 2020, which showed how versatile and appealing she still is. But underneath the glitz and splendor, Marie's personal path showed a level of bravery that her fans found even more appealing. She has had to deal with a lot of pain, public scrutiny, health problems, and sad loss. But she has always faced these problems with grace, honesty, and hope that never wavers. Her honesty about things like postpartum depression helped break down stigma and inspired many others to get help when they needed it most. Her decades of charitable efforts, including her co-founding of Children's Miracle Network hospitals, has altered and saved many lives and raised billions of dollars for children in need. Her kindness, generosity, and dedication to service are just as important to her legacy as any song, show, or moment in the spotlight. Marie Osmond's personal life, especially her marriages, shows a path full of love, heartbreak, strength, and the desire for true friendship. Marie married Stephen Lyle Craig, a basketball player at Brigham Young University. She liked him because he was calm and strong, which helped her deal with the mounting pressures of fame. The pair got married in 1982. At first, they were very much in love and looked forward to a bright future together. But the pressures of fame, busy touring schedules, and the difficulty of integrating a public job with a private home life put a lot of stress on their young marriage. The couple got divorced in 1985 after only 3 years of being together. Marie has talked a lot about how this hard and terrible time made her rethink her life and emotional priorities. Marie and Stephen still respected each other even after their marriage ended, which would become very crucial decades later. Marie got married for the second time in 1986. This time it was to Brian Blossel, a record producer she met while working in the entertainment sector. Their marriage lasted more than 20 years, and it was a long and complicated time that brought them both enormous happiness and deep difficulties. They had a big family together, with both biological and adopted kids. Marie has been honest about how becoming a mother during those years was one of the best things that ever happened to her. But behind the scenes, the relationship was full with serious emotional problems. The pair went through a lot of hard times, like Marie's postpartum depression, the pressures of show business, and serious family problems. Marie said that ending their marriage in 2007 was hard but vital for her emotional health. Marie kept her promise to her kids even though the divorce was hard. She worked hard to rebuild her life both personally and professionally. Marie Osmond and Stephen Lyle Craig got back together decades after their divorce, which shocked admirers all over the world. The two progressively started to reconnect as they stayed involved in each other's lives through their son, and as time went on, old scars healed and love grew again. Marie and Stephen got married again in 2011, over 26 years after they initially broke up. The ceremony was lovely and very important to them. For Marie, the reunion was more than simply a second shot at love. It was also a sign of forgiveness, growth, and how life can come full circle in ways you never expect. Marie has said several times that their second marriage is one of the best things that has happened to her in her older years. This is proof that the heart really does know what it wants, even if it takes a long time to figure it out. Marie Osmond is 66 years old and at a place in her life where she naturally thinks about things. The stories she used to keep to herself are now ready to be told to the world. Fans were shocked when she eventually talked about her relationship with Andy Gibb, the youngest and most charming of the Gibb brothers. For years, everyone had been talking about the two young stars, both loved by millions, both dealing with the stress of celebrity, and both attempting to be true to themselves in the harsh world of show business. Marie decided to tell the truth about what truly transpired behind the scenes, giving her candor that came from years of growth and healing. Marie said that Andy Gibb wasn't just another famous person she met on her way to becoming famous. She really felt a connection with him. She said that Andy had this brightness about him. It wasn't only charm when he stepped into a room. It was warm. You thought you had known him for a long time. She said that their friendship grew swiftly because they understood each other. They both got into the entertainment business when they were quite young. People expected both of them to have a great public image, but both privately wanted someone who understood how hard it is to be famous. Marie also talked about the bad things that happened in Andy's life, which she stated she could tell from the start. She told him that he felt sad. He tried to cover it with jokes and charm, but you could see it in his eyes when things became quiet. Marie remarked that she often felt like she had to choose between wanting to help him and knowing that some battles had to be fought from the inside. She commented on how hard it was for Andy to deal with the stress of his record label's expectations, the strain of being compared to his siblings, and the fast pace of his career. Marie said that one of the hardest facts she has had to deal with is how fragile Andy's emotional world is. She remembers times when he told her things he was afraid to tell anyone else. She remembered that Andy once told her he felt like he was running out of time. "I didn't get what he meant then, but now it makes me sad." She explained that even though they were close, their lives were going in different directions. Hers was full of the planned duties of variety shows and family obligations, while his was becoming more and more affected by personal problems and work stress. Marie did say, though, that Andy Gibb was much more than the headlines that later defined him. She wanted people to remember not only the sad things that happened in his latter years, but also the wonderful, kind, and generous things he did for others. She stated Andy was kind. People don't always notice that he cared a lot, perhaps too much. He was more than just a superstar. He was a person looking for serenity. Marie felt both thankful and sad when she looked back. Thankful for the time she spent with Andy when his spirit was still bright, and sad for the times she wishes she could go back to. Times when a few extra words of support or understanding could have made a difference. She added softly, "If I could tell him anything right now, it would be that he mattered and that the world was better with him in it." There is no scandal or secret romance in her reality about Andy Gibb. It is the truth of two young stars meeting, falling in love, and dealing with the great weight of fame. Marie Osmond finally felt ready to recognize that fact with kindness, honesty, and the hope that honoring Andy this way will help keep his spirit alive. She was 66 years old.